You know the scene, the perfect choreography, the massive sold-out stadiums, the global adoration. That's the K-pop dream, right? It's a world that looks like it's all fame and fortune. But for every single idol at the top of the charts, there are literally hundreds whose careers eventually, and sometimes suddenly, just end. So what really happens when the dream is over?
Yeah, it's almost never a simple, happy ending. We're about to get into some incredible stories of reinvention for sure. But we're also going to pull back the curtain on the gut-wrenching realities of financial ruin, the kind of public exile that follows a scandal, and even the shocking falls from grace that end in a prison cell. This is the side of the K-pop machine you rarely, if ever, get to see.
All right, let's start with the good news, right? Because for some idols, stepping off that stage is actually the best thing that ever happened to them. It's a chance to find a new kind of peace, a real purpose, and a totally different kind of success, far, far away from the spotlight. Okay, so take Ruben from the boy group One Team. After his group disbanded back in 2021, he didn't even try to find another agency. Instead, he just dove headfirst into his other passion, art. He completely reinvents himself as Colin, the tattoo artist. And let me tell you, the guy is good, like really good. He's now one of the most popular tattoo artists in Korea, and most of his clients have absolutely no idea he was once a K-pop idol.
And then you've got Yuna, a former vocalist for the super popular group AOA. She also made a totally clean break. After she retired from the industry, she went out and immediately got certified as a yoga instructor. But she didn't just stop there, no. She went all in and opened her own yoga and Pilates studio. Talk about a boss move.
But wow, maybe the most dramatic transformation of all is Shu from the legendary group SES. I mean, she truly hit rock bottom after this massive gambling scandal that even led to a suspended prison sentence. It was bad. But today, she has completely turned her life around in the farming industry of all things, growing medicinal herbs and running her own successful health supplement company. It's a really incredible story of a comeback. Okay, so those are the feel-good stories, but, and this is a big but, for every happy ending, there are so many more that are just tough. For a lot of former idols, the end of their career is just the beginning of a really long, difficult road, filled with money problems and, sadly, exploitation. The story of Kwon Mina after she left AOA is just, it's been a really heartbreaking public roller coaster. After leaving the group under some really painful circumstances, she's tried over and over to find her footing, moving from a job at a skincare shop to what she called her new dream job as a clinic consultant. But even that ended out of nowhere. It just shows this constant, desperate search for some kind of stability that keeps slipping through her fingers. And if that wasn't enough, things got even darker. Desperate for work, she got pulled into one of those online chat rooms that promised easy money just for talking to lonely men. It was a total scam, and she ended up losing more than $38,000. It just goes to show how incredibly vulnerable these former idols are once that agency's safety net is gone. And you know, what's really important to understand is that this financial pressure, it doesn't just start when the group disbands. Oh no, look at Noelle from Rainbow. She was literally working part-time at cafes while she was still an idol just to get by. Or the group Vanner. All the members were working jobs like food delivery just to afford to eat before a TV show basically saved their careers. And then sometimes that desperation leads people down a really dark path, like Ellen from Crayon Pop, who was accused of running this huge romance scam on a fan for nearly $1 million after she became a streamer. So you've got the money problems, but then there's this other career killer, scandal. Sometimes a career doesn't just fade away, it completely implodes in public. And the fallout can be so bad that it leads to a total unofficial exile from the entire industry. The April bullying scandal is, well, it's the perfect, messy example of this. It started with a post from a former member's brother and just spiraled into this years-long saga of accusations, denials, lawsuits. Even staff members came out with conflicting stories. Honestly, who knows what the real truth is? It's a he said, she said nightmare. But the result? The group was finished, and its most famous member, Naeun, saw her promising acting career just evaporate overnight. And this is where we get into this concept of blacklisting. Now, it's not like there's an official list somewhere, but it might as well be. The powerful agencies and TV networks can basically just decide you don't exist anymore, and poof, you're gone from the public eye in Korea. So what are their options? Pretty much disappear, or try to build a new career with overseas fans who might not know or care about the scandal. And then
Then you have the cases that go beyond just scandal. We're talking about a fall from grace so complete it ends in a criminal courtroom. For these idols, there is no comeback in Korea. There's only a prison sentence and a legacy of public anger. Yeah, this quote right here, watching him makes my blood boil. That pretty much sums up how an entire country feels about Seungri, the former Big Bang member at the center of the infamous Burning Sun scandal. Because this wasn't just some mistake. We're talking about 9 criminal charges, including embezzlement and soliciting prostitution. It's wild, but there's almost this playbook for idols who've been completely disgraced. Step 1, do the time. Step 2, get out and immediately get spotted living it up, partying across Asia. Step 3, and this is key, you can't make a comeback in Korea, so you pivot to your international fans who might still support you. And all the while, you deny everything and try to rebrand yourself, which of course the Korean public never, ever buys.
And you can see here, the prison time really reflects just how serious the crimes were. Cho Jong-hun also got a couple of years for his role in an assault linked to the whole Burning Sun mess. But then you have someone like Kris Wu, formerly of EXO, and that's a whole other level. He was convicted of absolutely horrific crimes in China and is facing more than a decade in prison before he even gets deported. And look, don't think for a second this is all ancient history. I mean, just this year, the entire K-pop world was stunned when Taeil, from a huge group, NCT, was indicted on really serious assault charges. His agency dropped him immediately. And yet, he was recently seen just out drinking with his friends, waiting for his trial like it's no big deal. The cycle just keeps on going.
So, after all of that, from the success stories to the absolute tragedies, what are we supposed to make of it all? What does this tell us about what it really costs to chase that K-pop dream?
I mean, the contrast is just insane, isn't it? On one hand, you have people finding real, genuine happiness as tattoo artists and farmers. And on the other, you have lives totally destroyed by scams, public hate, and even prison. It's a huge, flashing warning sign that being a fantastic performer doesn't give you the tools you need to survive in the real world once the music stops. Which really brings us to the final and maybe the most important question of all. We're talking about a multi-billion-dollar global industry that takes kids and turns them into superstars. So what responsibility, if any, does it have to prepare these artists for a life after the fame is gone? What happens to the actual human beings at the heart of this giant money-making machine when that machine decides they're not useful anymore? That is something to think about.